Akhenaton or Akhenaten, meaning one who is beneficial to Aten, who first ascended the throne as Amenhotep IV, meaning Amun is pleased, was a descendant of the pharaohs. He ruled this land for 13 years. Akhenaten's era is remembered for his religious reforms. He abandoned the religion and customs of his ancestors in polytheism and turned to the worship of a religion centered on the sun god, Aten. Atheism is described by terms such as monotheism, and monotheism. Akhenaten tried to popularize the religion that worshipped Aten, the sun god, in Egypt, but he did not achieve success, and was not widely accepted. After his death, they destroy his monuments and statues and erase his name from the list of pharaohs. The old religion regained its position, and the pharaohs who came to power a few years after the death of Akhenaten and had a special blood relationship with the dynasty. They did not have the 18th. They mentioned Akhenaten in their writings with the name of enemy and that criminal. With the destruction of Akhenaten's legacy, this pharaoh was forgotten, until in the 19th century, the archaeological site of Akhenaten was discovered in the city of Amarna. A mummy was also found in the grave known as KV55, which appears to belong to him. In fact, the following diagnoses test that the mummy belonged to Tutankhamun's father, but some have questioned the parentage between Akhenaten and Tutankhamun. Akhenaten and his wife Nefertiti are among the ancient Egyptians, who are the history of contemporary archaeologists and painters. This interest stems from three things. Firstly, their relationship with Tutankhamun, although Nefertiti was not Tutankhamun's mother. Secondly, the quality artworks that can be found from the time of Akhenaten. And thirdly, the religion created by him. The early years of the reign as Amenhotep IV. Akhenaten was not the eldest son of Amenhotep II and his queen mother, Lady Tai, but at first Prince Jatmus had the position of a fiefdom. With the death of Jatmus at a young age, another son named Amenhotep, the future Akhenaten, who was considered the next in the line of succession, became the crown prince. There is a lot of disagreement among historians as to whether Amenhotep IV came to power immediately after the death of Amenhotep II, or if he first ruled jointly with someone else, specifically his father, up to 12 years. Meanwhile, some have strongly rejected the issue of long-term sharing of government or considered it short-term, 1 to 2 years at most. In February 2014, the Ministry of Antiquities of Egypt announced that it had obtained conclusive evidence that Akhenaten ruled jointly with his father for at least 8 years. These signs were obtained from the tomb of Amenhotep I, the Egyptian prime minister of that time. Amenhotep IV was crowned in the city of Thebes and immediately began a series of constructions. By his order, a statue of Amenhotep IV worshipping the god Ra was placed at the southern entrance of the temple of Amun. He quickly built a temple to worship the Aten at Karnak East, which was called Gampeton. Several other temples were also built for the god Aten in Karnak. During this time, he did not oppose the worship of Amun, while maintaining the title of Amenhotep IV, and the temple of Amun continued to function. Name change. On the 13th day of the 8th month of the 5th year of the reign, Amenhotep IV entered the newly founded city of Akhenaton, now Amarna. A month before this, Amenhotep IV had officially changed his name to Akhenaten. In the same year, he also changed his royal names. Religious reforms. Akhenaten tried to spread a new religion in Egypt, a religion around the worship of the sun god, Aten, which seems to be another name for Ra. To what extent Akhenaten tried to impose the worship of the new god on the Egyptians is not known, but it is clear that he followed the policy of removing the influence of other gods, including Amun. In this regard, many people in the court changed their names, which indicated their interest in other gods, and chose names related to Aten. However, even in Akhenaten's court, there were those who kept their old names, such as Amas, meaning son of the moon god. It seems that the worship of other gods was imposed by Pharaoh before a certain date, or the occurrence of an event whose details are hidden from us. Communication with Moses. Sigmund Freud considers Moses in the period of Akhenaten. In the book Moses and Monotheism, Freud concludes that Moses was inclined towards the monotheistic religion of Athens, but due to the weakening of the imperial power after Akhenaten and the rejection of the religion of Athens by the Egyptians, Moses transferred this religion to the Jewish people instead of continuing in Egypt. The Jews of that time lived in the territory of Egypt. Moses also gave the Egyptian custom of circumcision to the Jewish people.